been writing it for years. I've been writing it for about 7 years about Harry Potter, who is the central character. And that idea came to me on a train. I don't know what made it come, but it did. I had the idea for this school for wizards.
J.K. Rowling is a British author, film producer, television producer, screenwriter, and philanthropist. She's best known for writing the Harry Potter fantasy series, which has won multiple awards and sold more than 500 million copies, becoming the best-selling book series in history. The books are the basis of a popular film series over which Rowling had overall approval on the scripts and was a producer on the final films. She also writes crime fiction under the name Robert Galbraith. Rowling has received honorary degrees from St. Andrews University, the University of Edinburgh, Edinburgh Napier University, and the University of Exeter, which she attended, the University of Aberdeen, and Harvard University, where she spoke at the 2008 commencement ceremony.
Intending to write for adults, but never tried to get anything published before. But when this story came to me, obviously it was a children's story, so it chose me rather than the other way around. I never sat down and thought, I'm going to try and write for children now.
Her full name is Joanne Rowling, but is also known as J.K. or Jo Rowling. She was born on July 31st, 1965 in Yate, Gloucestershire, England, making her age 54 at the time of this production. She stands 5'5" or 1.65 meters. Rowling loves cooking and baking. As a creative person, she likes to draw and listen to music. Also, she loves to take her kids out to have some fun. She loves to take vacations in the tropics. Because the Hamptons are fun, but the south of France is closer, Rowling takes her family on trips to the Seychelles that cost upwards of $6,000 a week. She buys designer couture. She loves clothes, often buying designer pieces from her favorites like Oscar de la Renta. She also gives lavish gifts. Rowling is known for being an extravagant giver of gifts. She once sent a fan of her writing a collection of Harry Potter memorabilia worth $11,000. Just like so many other people, Rowling loves visiting the beach during the summer months. Unlike most of us, she has no problem dropping $76,000 on a one-week vacation rental. Another one of Rowling's costly indulgences? Designer jewels. This is a lady who isn't afraid to embrace a little of sparkle. Her favorite designer is her fellow Brit, Elizabeth Gage, whose pieces cost up to $30,000. When you're as famous and wealthy as Rowling is, you have to take extra care for your safety. She spends up to $150,000 a year on private bodyguards who escort her wherever she's out in public. Many people dream of having the money to take a dream vacation, and Rowling is no exception. She once tapped into her fortune to spend $15,000 on a trip of a lifetime, a cruise to the Galapagos Islands. This author is known for being exceptionally charitable. She gives away up to $120,000 each year. One of her favorite charities helps provide support for single parents. Rowling married Portuguese television journalist Jorge Arantes in 1992 and had a child, Jessica, on July 27, 1993, in Portugal. The couple separated on November 17, 1993, and Rowling and her daughter moved to Edinburgh, Scotland. J.K. was a self-described broke, struggling single mother on welfare the entire time she worked on the first Harry Potter installment. During this period, she struggled with depression and contemplated suicide. She married anesthetist David Murray in 2001, and the couple has 2 children, along with Jessica from her previous marriage.
It sold very well, which is wildly overshot my expectations, I have to say, because it sold about 30,000 copies in the UK, which is phenomenal. To me, it's phenomenal. To me, more than anyone else, probably. And it won the Smartest Book Prize.
Joanne J.K. Rowling was born in Yate, Gloucestershire, England on July 31, 1965. Growing up, she would write short fiction stories and read them to her sister Diane. She has stated that her childhood years were unhappy, citing a strained relationship with her father and her mother's ongoing health battles with multiple sclerosis. She has said that she based the character of Hermione Granger off herself at the age of 11. After J.K. graduated from the University of Exeter, where she studied French and classics, she moved to Porto, Portugal to become an English teacher. Rowling was working as a researcher and bilingual secretary for Amnesty International when she conceived the idea for the Harry Potter in 1990. Harry Potter and the Philosopher's Stone was published in 1997. There were 6 sequels, of which the last, Harry Potter and the Deathly Hallows, was released in 2007. She is the UK's best-selling living author with sales in excess of £238 million. Following the huge success of the novels came a series of popular films, which kicked off in 1998 when Warner Brothers paid 7 figures for the rights to the first 2 books. Steve Kloves wrote all of the screenplays save for the 5th film, which Rowling assisted in. She leveraged some creative control and reviewed each script before they were made. Rowling's main request for the films was that they all be shot in Britain with an all-British cast. In 2013, Warner Brothers and Rowling announced a planned series of 5 films to be scripted and co-produced by Rowling about the character Newt Scamander, author of Fantastic Beasts and Where to Find Them. J.K. has used her wealth and power to support a wide number of philanthropic causes and charities. She established the Volant Charitable Trust in 2001, which uses its considerable budget to help fight childhood poverty. She's involved in several other poverty and social inequality charities, along with charities that work to help fight multiple sclerosis. Notably, she demanded that Coca-Cola, who won the product tie-in race for the film series, donate $18 million to the American charity Reading is Fundamental and other community programs. She is the founder of the Anne Rowling Regenerative Neurology Clinic at the University of Edinburgh, named for her mother who suffered from multiple sclerosis. J.K. funded the clinic with an initial $16 million donation. To date, she has personally donated at least $150 million to charity. The 2019 Sunday Times Rich List estimated Rowling's fortune at £750 million, ranking her as the joint 191st richest person in the UK. J.K. Rowling has reportedly secretly purchased her childhood home that inspired parts of the Harry Potter series. The author lived in Church Cottage in Tutshall, Gloucestershire between the ages of 9 and 18 and bought it way back in 2011 when it went back on the market. She paid about £400,000 for the house, according to the BBC, with land registry records showing that the Edinburgh-based Caernarfon Lettings Ltd bought the house. Joanne's husband, Neil Murray, is listed as a director for the company. J.K. Rowling's house in Edinburgh is worth $2.7 million. The stone-built home is on 2 floors and also has an office building. It's situated in one of Edinburgh's most exclusive conservation areas. It has a discreet landscaped and walled garden. Rowling had no problem dropping $1 million on the house next door to her existing home so she could tear it down and extend her garden to include this whimsical backyard fort. Looking at photographs of the 136-year-old Perthshire country home, it's no surprise to learn that its owner is the author of the Harry Potter series. She paid $500,000 to own this fairy tale estate nestled into the countryside. She loves Australia so much that she bought a $10 million farm in Tasmania to serve as her own slice of heaven on earth. Rowling owns a 156-foot mega yacht worth $25 million.